Hi, I'm Kate. All right, so comedy is like a religion to me. So much so that I met a new friend about a week ago and we quoted the exact same Arrested Development quote at the exact same time, and it was like a heavenly out-of-body experience. It was amazing. So I've been studying it pretty intensely for the past year. That's my out-of-body experience, and I would just like to share some of the things that I've learned. Comedy exists in the space between the pain and the truth. To really make a great comedic moment successful, you need to find something that is honest and something that is also a little painful, and then find the thing that helps you deal with it. For example, a guy getting kicked in the balls. Always funny, because it's painful, and it's based on the truth of basic human anatomy. That's just a very basic example, but yeah, see, hilarious. But that can be applied to across the board. Or maybe not, maybe this makes people uncomfortable, I don't know. Another thing that I've had to learn with this, I've had to deal with this year is something that I like to call the ferocious editor. The first version of anything you make is terrible. And that can be really difficult to deal with, especially when you're trying to write comedy and it's not instantly funny. Because that's kind of what makes or break you if people laugh. And you're not gonna make people laugh the first time or the second time or the third time, so you have to turn that off. What's then really difficult is that there comes a point in the editing process where you have to turn it back on. So you have to kind of fine-tune that muscle in your brain that tells you you're terrible and know when to shut it up and then when to invite it back into your process. And that is by far and away the most difficult thing that I've had to deal with this whole year. And here comes the thing that I think I'm not going to be very popular for. Puns are the worst! Puns are so awful. And whatever you do at home behind closed doors is fine. But I'm talking about on stage in sketch comedy or stand-up. And here's why. Puns are the most selfish version of comedy. You don't say puns for other people, you say them for yourself. You say them to be like, oh, look at this verbal gymnastics I just did. I'm so smart, everyone applaud for me. I really can't stand that. This is the face I'll make at you if you ever come and say one to me. Please don't use this as a free pass to just say puns to me. We won't be friends. But they're funny. Oh, see? Oh, there, that's what you get. Rule of 3 is my favorite technical rule of comedy. Here's how rule of 3 works. So, introduce, heighten, subvert. So if I was going to write a funny dating profile character, I would write something like, I like long walks on the beach and romantic dinners and shooting orphans with BB guns. It's just introducing a concept, heightening that concept, and then twisting it just a little bit. And there are tons of tricks of comedy like that. 30 Rock does it all the time. Sitcoms do it all the time. It's a great thing to do in speech writing. It's a great thing to do when you're trying to give details to characters, because you can make them seem normal and then seem more normal and then just kind of make them a little weird right at the end. And it's a beautiful thing. Yes, and. The key to collaboration in comedy is really collaborative. Here's the thing about yes and. It seems really easy, and it's incredibly difficult for a perfectionist, overworked, ENTJ person like myself. I find it very difficult, and I wake up every day and I go into meetings, and especially when you're dealing with other creative people who also love their ideas, it can get really hairy and sticky. And the great thing about yes and is that it never rejects you. Like, it's a concept that it is always willing to welcome you back in, and you're always able to come back and come to the table with other comedy writers and say, I'm ready to be positive, I'm ready to be here, and work on something together. And it's my life philosophy, and I try to do it every day. So here's my final story about humor and why it's important to me. A week ago, I kid you not, almost to the minute, when my live-in boyfriend walked up to me and announced he was leaving me, my first response was to cry, and then my second response was to go out, get some sweet potato, stick a candle in it, and blow it out like it was my birthday and live tweet the whole thing. Because I think that's really funny. And I had a lot of people tell me that was an inappropriate response, and I don't agree, because I don't think comedy denies the fact that life is painful. I think comedy invites that pain in and gives you a way to deal with it and a way to do something productive with it. So do yourself a favor, laugh once a day, and make the world a better place. Thank you.